Well, you've probably heard the warnings all day long, but just in case you haven't, once the ice arrives, you probably ought to stay put if you can. The roads are likely going to be awful, and often the worst roads are right in your own neighborhood. Even on the highways and interstates, though, it can be pretty rough. The State Department of Transportation and the City of Portland have recently started using rock salt on the roads, which does help. Many states and big cities, especially in the Midwest and the East Coast, they've routinely used salt on snow and ice for decades. And now some are actually starting to get away from it because they're worried about the impact on the environment. In Oregon, we've been going the other way. So how did we get here? Oregon's Department of Transportation says they believe they used salt on the roads up until the 1950s, but can't find records about why it stopped. For years, ODOT and local agencies, including Portland, have avoided using salt during snow and ice. The big reason? It's bad for the environment.
All of that salt either stays on the road or washes off into the environment. It's not picked up. It's now part of our environment. Is that what people want?
Road salt hurts plant life on the ground and aquatic life as it washes into streams and rivers, and the effects build up over time. Lots of salt is also bad for your car.
My husband's from the Midwest, and I always heard, your car gets all, corroded because of all the salt on the roads.
And for roads and bridges. Salt's expensive to store, and it's expensive to fix damage caused by salt over several years. And that's why Oregon stayed away from it.
We have storm situations like this a handful of times each year. And so is it worth it? Is that trade-off worth it?
But as rare storms became more common, ODOT launched a pilot program in 2012 to test salt use at the border with California. It found salt effective for reducing crashes. It also found minimal soil contamination, but one stream did show elevated levels of salt. Then, on December 15th, 2016, a storm that we called Snowmageddon descended on the Portland area. Here's what the opening of our newscast sounded like at 11 o'clock that night.
A December snowstorm snarls traffic, stranding thousands, including kids.
Thousands of people were stuck in their cars on Highway 26 for as long as 8 hours. Many people abandoned their cars and simply walked home.
Are you judging us Oregonians on how we deal with this situation?
A little bit, but you guys, y'all don't have salt, so makes sense. So you have a hard time driving in this stuff.
And the hills are really bad.
Yeah.
After the mess of that storm, ODOT launched a pilot program testing the use of road salt on certain highways in the metro area.
We've been listening to citizens who complain after virtually every storm where there's any sort of backup. We completely understand and empathize with somebody stuck for 4 to 6 hours out in a mess. Would salt have helped? We don't know, but we're going to find out.
It was not hard to find people in favor.
Yes, please salt the roads. Definitely.
Especially after several more storms over the next year left people in their cars stranded for hours. Since then, ODOT and PBOT have used salt in targeted areas. PBOT has an interactive map online. You can see which streets will get salt in the city of Portland. The streets in purple are salt routes. Most of them are in the West Hills, but also a few in East Portland, including 82nd Avenue. Other streets get liquid magnesium chloride or sand. ODOT says road salt is on the table for this storm if conditions call for it. They'll make that decision locally as the storm develops. If it is used, it will be spread on areas on I-5, I-405, I-205, and Highway 26. And that is how we got here. Let us know what you think you should be seeing, what's happening out on the roads. Should the transportation agencies expand the use of road salt to clear the roads during the storms, or do you think the risk to the environment is just too much? You can email us at thestory@kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail. The number is 503-226-5090.